Hi, hello everyone. How are you all? We already had in discussions on paper 1 of sociology mains 2024. Now with the discussion of paper 2, we are here. So sociology paper 2, how it was and how to attend these questions. For that discussions I am here. So as you know, I am Vijeta Dinakaran. I am handling the sociology optional in KingMakers IAS Academy. And sociology optional is one of the best optionals. I used to say that because the questions which is there, like in the question papers, giving a proof that how it will be a convenient for the students to also relate it with the GS angle and also with the optional and SAS too. So let's start with the discussions. So this is the question paper. If you look at the question papers, the question papers, what is an observation of my personal observation. So the paper 1 and paper 2 was actually connected. Paper 1 had the questions of paper 2, that is the sociological or Indian society aspect. Also the paper 2 Indian society, what we are going to start a discussion with, you can see the reflection of paper 1 will be there. Okay, so the pattern of the question paper is question number 1 and question number 5 would be always a compulsory, and compulsory in the sense that all the part would be compulsory. So question number 1 and question number 5 would be compulsory. Total you have to attempt any 5 questions here. Okay, so 5 questions from that 1 and 5 are compulsory. Another section of section A and section B, you have to take any questions, any 2 questions from the section A or section B, or any 1 question from section A or 2 questions from the section B. So அப்படி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you have to be right with the 5 question number, but always section A and section 5 will be carrying a sub part of 5 questions. So total 50 marks would be there here and here, and section another 3 questions you have to write with the question number will be there, 3 questions in each question. Okay, 3 sub questions in each question, 20 20 10. So அப்படி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 50 50 50. So you will be completing with your paper of 250 marks. Okay, so இது question ஓட analysis பண்ணுறதுக்கு before வந்து it's very compulsory that how many questions are there to write, so that எவ்வளோ papers நீங்கள் எழுத போகிறீங்க, how and what speed it needed, அதுதான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து first mindல வச்சுக்கணும். Let's start with the discussion. Question number 1, if you see here, it had sub part. So first question, let's see. I think it's visible. Yes. Let's take the first question. What, according to you, are the factors responsible for the continuation of caste systems in India? You know, the first look when I saw this questions, அது பார்த்த உடனே எனக்கு GS paper 1 or Indian society concept I got related with, because this year நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ஸாக ஆட் பண்ணிட்டு போங்க along with me. Just don't watch this, please note it down that initially உங்களுக்கு வந்து இதெல்லாம் ஒரு திங்ஸ் யாரும் சொல்லி கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. பட் த திங் இஸ் த ட்ரெண்ட் ஆஃப் த UPSC in sociology is now changing to, moreover it is coming to our opinion plus Indian society aspectல தான் அவங்க வந்து கொஷின்ஸ் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. பட் sociological angles how you have to give na I am going to discuss. So according to you, are the factor responsible for continuation of caste system in India? So the questions structures எப்படி வரும், what is caste system, okay, or who are the thinkers responsible to contribute their studies in caste systems. You can start introductions from there. Then the question says here that what is the reason for continuation of these caste systems. Okay, now structure of the questions would be, one side it is a GS. So GS angle in the points you have to collect it here. One side you have to prepare with your thinkers who are associated with the caste, and also one side you have to take care of the paper 1 oda thinkers, how you can relate it here. Normally paper 1 oda thinkers it will relate பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லி the peoples will think, because caste systems never they have used it in the paper 1. Caste system is a peculiar features of Indian society, so that, but we need to connect it to paper 1 so that we can fetch more marks here. Okay, so the question demand here you have to write down with the GS angle. What is the factor responsible for caste system today? சொல்லும்போது traditional aspect oda things you have to write down. So introductions, you can say that G.S. Gure, M.N. Srinivas, Luo Dumont, Andre Bethe, these are the thinkers who actually contributed their studies in caste systems in India. Also you can start with the book name also. Okay, fine. Now continuation of caste systems in India. What is the reason? The reason of caste systems continuation பார்க்கும்போது again sociological angle is functional. அப்போ ஃபங்க்ஷனல் ஆஸ்பெக்ட் ஆஃப் காஸ்ட் சிஸ்டம்ஸை நீங்கள் பார்க்கணும். ஓகே, இதில் கண்டிப்பாக வந்து M.N. Srinivasோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன்ஸ் யூ நீட் டு ரைட் பிகாஸ் ஹி வாஸ் அ ஸ்ட்ரக்சரல் ஃபங்க்ஷனலிஸ்ட். நவ் ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் ஆஸ்பெக்ட் காஸ்ட் சிஸ்டம் வாஸ் தட் the features of caste system was division of occupational division of labor, separation of contact, correct, hierarchy. இதெல்லாம் வந்து the caste systems had a traditional features. Now you have to think the question that these things have changed but that it has not replaced. Okay, replaced avla. So division of labor was according to the Varna system, caste systems it had. Now replaced it has not done. Again there was a like on the basis of manual scavenging or examples you can say that still the division of labor is there. That is why caste system is still continuation. So sociologically it is continuation, economically it is continuation, it is there, politically it is continuing. Adu eppdina society basis la vande still the particular marriage system. Okay, then the rituals, correct. So marriage systems na endogamy, it is still following. The family having the cultures of caste system still following. Then economic aspect la vande even the reservation in education, the reservation in the occupation. For example, UPSC is giving the reservation for SC/ST. Because of that also it is continuing. Okay, political angle, politically it has given that right to equality and we have a positive discriminations. Article 15, 16, 17 we have like untouchability. adula நம்ம வந்து actually abolish பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா still the caste system is functional, solely it is going on. So functional angle la caste system is following some our needs, that is why it is functional. So in the questions when actually GS level la you need to mention. Okay, so GS, so you are structures, you should understand that normally every peoples will complete the paper and come. Okay, but how to answer this question was actually in this way you need to get answer. So GS angle, again in between you have to think the points, you have to take care of the GS angle, but thinkers you have to put and also their contribution. Plus please don't forget to add the contemporary time things. For example, continuation of caste system because of politics, because of politicization of caste, casteization of politics in the terms namukku varano. Plus caste again continuation because of the technology. About technology enna, technology, matrimonial sites and all that, because of that now the caste system is continuing. Again you have to continue with the angle of dominant caste. So dominant caste, because of that in the politics it is continuing. Okay, so who are the thinkers you will bring here? As I said, M.N. Srinivas concept of dominant caste, westernization, then Sanskritization. Because of that the caste systems change but it is still continuing. Present time la contemporary time also you have to. So your answer structures would be Indian society plus thinkers contributions plus contemporary time, their effect. இப்படி தான் questions attend பண்ணணும். Then I said one thing, paper 1 oda thinkers again you have to bring it here. Now can you tell me that what which thinkers you can mention? Caste, if you see, you can relate it the chapter of stratification and mobility, chapter 5 of paper 1. Then chapter 5 thinkers vanda again Karl Marx, okay, then Weber, but they talked about class, but there was a thing that the same thing of class you can see in an Indian society as a caste. Appo again if you're mentioning about Karl Marx and Weber there and you are saying that it is a functional and one side it is seeing as a conflict, then your answers would be completing. Okay, so don't forget to add. There is no like solution and the mari sociology means there is no solution solely or the questions appdi irukadu. So we can incorporate here thinkers names of paper 1, correct. So this was the question. Okay, next question, discuss the changes taking place in industrial class structures in India. First of all, syllabus la this is exactly from the syllabus. So industrial class structure. Appo industrial class structure oda things Indian society concept you have to discuss, thinkers you have to add, paper contemporary time la again you have to add here. Now here said like changes, as I said like these questions ask more on the changes part. Okay, changes சொல்லும்போது கண்டிப்பா நீங்க வந்து previous what happened and now how, what is the forces of changes. So உங்களுக்கு ஒரு structures ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? You can say that traditionally what was happening, older time what is happening, then what was the forces of changes, westernization, urbanization, modernization, the inclusion of the role of the state in that. Okay, and right now what is the changes going on, இதுதான் நீங்க வந்து டார்கெட் பண்ணுங்க. அப்போ இது क्वेश्चंस பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is related to the GS part மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும் இதுல. But more you have to make it sociological, then you have to add here thinkers. அப்போ என்ன thinkers இது வர industrial social class structures first paper ல இருந்து again Karl Marx is there. But when you do this practice then only you can add like this, otherwise அந்த டென்ஷன்ல நீங்க பேப்பர் 1 ஓட thinkers மறந்துடுவீங்க. So thinkers like industrial class structures, so Karl Marx told about here industrial class structures like capitalist society, there was a bourgeois and proletariat. Then industrial class structures, you have to draw a diagram of middle class, okay, and 4 type of classes the Weber has been mentioned, so you have to write here. Now changes பார்க்கும்போது the first traditional class structures was more on class, and now it is changing to also the commercial way வந்து they are seeing this. How this commercial ways, they are seeing this class to maintain the contact. Okay, so industrial class structures more now what to say, like participating in politics, participating because they become the middle class, correct, they also become the owner bourgeois class. So what are the changes சொல்லும்போது taking place in industrial class structures, you have to take care with social aspect like family, religion, okay, secularization concept, etc. Then economically they are more contributing in the taxes, correct, also political level they knows that what is the political need of the country. Appo class structure is now responding in actually India oda class industrial class structures in India is changing the the demography of India as well. So this is also you can think. Okay, then next question is patriarchy is a key to understanding different forms of inequality in Indian society. First of all, the question demands is patriarchy taken from the syllabus of patriarchy and sexual division of labor in our syllabus paper 2. Then is patriarchy is a key to understanding different forms of inequality in Indian society. How patriarchy is responsible for inequality, இப்படி தான் question கேக்குறாங்க. Indian society ல patriarchy effect or manifestation of patriarchy இதுதான் நீங்க வந்து actually you have to write down. So manifestation of patriarchy can be seen in gender role. அப்போ GS answer plus thinkers plus present time contemporary society ஓட angle plus paper 1 ஓட thinkers இதில் add பண்ணணும். Gender role plus patriarchy forms an inequality. அப்போ inequality where? Please decode it. Inequality in work, inequality in domestic sphere, inequality in politics, inequality economically. இப்படி தான் நீங்கள் வந்து பார்க்கணும். Work சொல்லும்போது again it will be coming as work as a domestic work, work as a public. Okay, work even you can contribute in agriculture, manufacturing and service industry. See how much you can expand in with the different points in your answers. Because இது GS தான், but நம்ம இது thinkers add பண்ணோன்னு sociology ஆகிடும். So first ஆனால் நம்மளுக்கு we need to write the points which is required for this particular question. So do you think, so this third question, okay. So patriarchy is a key understanding. Upon I've given you the clear idea about all this. So inequality, then how you can make it as sociology. Now paper 1 of the thinkers again one para you have to add it. Who have told about inequalities? Again chapter 1 of stratification and mobility. ஏன்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு practice பண்ணி வைங்க, then only you can able to remember the particular thinkers where you can associate it with a particular topic. Paper 1 oda Karl Marx inequality. Paper 1 inequality functional aspect la vande you can say, even you can give in perspective, conflict perspective Karl Marx, functional perspective inequality is pathological or it is abnormal only it is there, otherwise it is functional. Okay, inequality, you can say Weber has said no inequalities because lot of lot of things are there which is functional as well. Now patriarchy சொல்லும்போது you should not forget marriage and family chapter லந்து you have to include their feminist perspective. அப்போ feminist perspective இதில் என்னென்ன வரும், liberal feminist perspective you have to give, radical feminist perspective you have to give, and also the contemporary time la Marxist perspective also and contemporary feminist perspective you have to give. So there இப்போ radical feminist என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, feminism actually is a patriarchy is a male responsible for our problem. Then liberal perspective or feminist will be going to say that equality we want. So the moment when the equality we are getting, we are okay. Correct. Now paper 2 order you can say with the patriarchy, maybe the thinkers from the paper 2, and also contemporary time you can say that the government and the government provisions has been added because to reduce this particular patriarchy. Now patriarchy is coming with an equality. For example, the moment when we are giving 50% reservation, the moment when we are giving women's empowerment, the patriarchy will reduce actually inequality in the society. In the மாதிரி questions attend பண்ணிருக்கணும். Okay, understanding. Next question was, do you think that family bondings are being affected by changing kinship patterns in India? Again, can you see the essence here? Family bondings are being affected. Okay, now there was a question in 2014 about joint family in Indian society, paper 1. அதில் என்னன்னா now joint family is mere the economic dependency தான் இருக்கு. Social sphere ல வந்து the joint family is not coming as a joint family. This was the question. Now what I found is, now sociology la unga GS madri and questions they are giving and they are testing us that how you are making it a sociology. This is why you need a class, you need a sociology optional understanding in such a way that in a very practical and application oriented. For example, do you think, again this is asking, okay, so what you will write like a GS angle, GS, no more points you will not get to add over. So structure your answers like, first of all in the syllabus family and marriage then from paper 1, again paper 2 lande family and bondings it is there, family and kinship topic is there. Now the question demanding here, family bondings are being affected by the changing kinship pattern. Now நம்ம தான் வந்து actually changing kinship patterns இங்க பேசணும். The changing kinship pattern from patriarchy to authoritative to now it is coming with the understanding and equality. Correct. Now family bondings are being affected by changing kinship pattern. Now what is the kinship pattern now changing? From joint family to nuclear family to new local family. Now we are going to philocentric family. Do you remember these questions as asked in paper 1? Paper 1 or GS paper 1 la vande you have seen this. In the year da indha question ketirukanga. Now you have to say that how this family bondings are changing in every step. For example, joint family, the kinship pattern was strong, family bonding was strong because of the social values. Okay, now since we are changing to joint family to the nuclear family, the family bondings are now more going with the love and consanguinal and the affinal family ku vandu we are moving it, and the words are namakku venum. Family and kinship la vandu we are using this word. Then leo local family is also where the family is not on the patriarchal matriarchal side but also from the own residence they will be creating their family. Then now it is going with the philocentric, children's oriented. So family boundaries are now coming with the social aspect lande, then coming with the affinal angle lande. Now we are moving to the even the nuclear family plus children's. So ding family also you can quote it here. Okay, so idha questions vande GS angle la kettirukanga. Correct. Now also you have to give the opinion of feminist perspective also you can write. Now say family and kinship la even you can write down the marriage also you can say the type of marriages. Iravati Karve oda name also you can add up here. Okay, next question. Despite the effort of the government, bonded labor still continues in India. Discuss. Now there is a question that why bonded labor is still continuing. it is also mentioned in the syllabus. எல்லாமே syllabus உள்ளதா நம்ம questions இருக்கு. Now why there is a despite of government efforts, government labor. Now this is sociological angle. For example, caste system. For example, there is a like lack of policies and laws. Okay, this is the problem. Then what are the government efforts to have it? Now you can say article 23, 24 even, right? Efforts have been given. There is a POSCO acts where the sexual harassment, if it is there, for any children's which is there under bonded labor. And you have to mention that the bonded labors mostly will be there with the child, because 14 years ku mele vanda free and compulsory education is not there. Also the free compulsory education, and also there is no law obstacle, no law is there which is facing an obstacle if the child is being engage in some kind of work like this. But bounded labor work kadiyadu, normal work kuda things that I'm just talking about. So despite the effort, government bonded labor still continues in India. You can say yes, it is there, because again you have to give a sociological perspective. When the question seems like in general, you have to present it in the perspective way. Conflict perspective, functional perspective. And if you are like, if you can remember, I have always mentioned all these examples in the classes. Bounded labor or functional perspective, conflict perspective. When the questions you cannot imagine that how to make it sociological, then you have to create it with a perspective. Conflict, functional, then feminist perspective, contemporary perspective, etc. Okay, so we have in functional, conflict, this one, right? So conflict perspective la vande bonded labor is just because of capitalism. Appo Karl Marx oda thing. Functional aspect, at least they are getting some income. So economically, if they are getting the work, it is no way, it is functional only. In every society having this issue, when it is raising it, then it will become a pathological. Then feminist perspective, more the children's, and patriarchy is responsible to have this kind of problems still persistent in the like Indian society. In the marida, you have to make it with the sociological angle. Okay, question number 2 says differentiate between Western and Indological perspective on the study of Indian society. Bring out the major aspect of G.S. Gure's contribution to Indological aspect. Very straightforward question. You have to do the distinguish like Western perspective thinkers and Indological perspective. Actually, Western perspective thinkers and Orientalist you can mention. So they wanted to study the Indian society, right? So they wanted to see the Indian society from their perspective, right? And they have presented the Indian society as a positive way also and negative way also. So this was a difference. But Indian sociologists like G.S. Gure, they said India is unique. So let's go with Indology. That is India or study. That is Indology. That is called Indological perspective. So you can bring it as G.S. Gure name here. And also G.S. Gure or the contributions you need to write 6 contributions on the different fields of like religion, then caste, then tribes. Okay, so they have he has written many books along with that. So in our class PDF itself, like I have given all the books names, all the studies about G.S. Gure, etc. The same thing you needed to here explain. Okay, it was a straightforward question. Next, go with 2B. So discuss the main obstacle. What is the definitional problem involved in the identifying tribes in India? Discuss the main obstacle to tribal development in India. From the syllabus, the first part, B3 topic, tribal communities in India. In that, the first topic in the syllabus is definitional problem. Correct? So you have to say the definitional problem. How the definitional problem said? Because there is no proper way to identify who is the real tribe. So you have to mention like a GS. Also you have to add here G.S. Gure name, right? Even tribes angle Elvin name. You have to mention about your policy of assimilation, policy of isolation, and policy of integration. Okay, and also GS angle one Exa committee is there who talked about here tribal populations, some cultural features they have given, like primitive traits would be there, they have a unique culture. These things also you have to mention. Okay, so discuss the main obstacle. You have to say the issues with the tribal development. You can say economic issues, political issue. First mind and the points kondu vaanga, then and the segregation kondu vaanga, then you will collect the points. Economic, political, societal, government also you can say. So economically they are, you can present the data, because tribal community social justice la neenga prepare பண்ணிருக்கணும். So suppose இப்போ GS2 you have written, okay, and same data வந்து இங்க நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும். For example, there is a survey says that if literacy rate of India is more than 77%, but here the literacy rate is 50%. Even you can use the data of 2011 census as well. So politically, political representation has been given, but how many has been represented equally, that is an issue. Social sphere there is still a discriminations going on. Despite giving the positive discriminations, reservations, etc., they are not being included in their இதில் again you can use it, the questions which ask in the UPSC this year exam. What is the difference between equality, equity and social empowerment, or women's empowerment pati they given in the question. But you can say equity and equality. Appo equity kudukringa, reservation kudukringa, so equality kudukringa, equity is there or not, they are not checking with. So problem of implementation, problem of also tribal the PVTG group is there. Also we have a group of the nomadic tribes. இதெல்லாமே மென்ஷன் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். Okay, now how to make it sociological? I have done. GS Gure, name at least one thinker's names if you're including, that is fine. Okay, sociological angles, even we have said with the Elvin's policy of integration, இது எல்லாமே you can quote it. It was easy question. What according to Anthropology are the basis for agrarian class structures in India? Okay, the questions here, what according to Anthropology are the basis of agrarian class structure? Direct questions, agrarian class structures but Anthropology has made it. So village study, again village study Anthropology did. Caste Anthropology contribution is there. Agrarian class structures, according to there was an actually the difference of opinion between the Anthropology and Louis Dumont. For example, agrarian class structures is most dominating by the caste அப்படி சொல்லி தான் the Louis Dumont presented as a caste as a homo hierarchicus in India அப்படி சொல்லி ஒரு terms கொடுத்திருக்கு. But caste systems is also connected in the functional way like this, you have to add. Okay, so it was related to the class structures and idea of Anthropology you have to give. It was also the direct question. What is the study of why is the study of marriage? See what I felt this this year, paper 1 full of marriage and family, paper 2 full of marriage and family. UPSC students, the sociology like optional students, they will be feeling bad whenever they are seeing this marriage topic. Again UPSC is asking, because we are sacrificing lot of things in UPSC preparation. Now let's see what the question is. Why is the study of marriage important in sociology? Normally நம்ம கிளாஸ்ல நிறைய வாட்டி marriage sociological aspect everything we are checking with. Now think why study of marriage is important. Now what people will think, let's see like how to create a question answer here. Analyze the implication of changing marriage patterns in Indian society. Okay, I don't have a plain paper, that's why I'm drawing here. Indian society, you have to discuss, add it with the thinker's name of paper 1 of family and marriage, and also paper 2 thinkers here. Okay, now the questions, let's start and discuss about, and also contemporary time you have to add. Okay, contemporary things also, please don't forget Indian society aspect la contemporary enna poitu irukku, you have to mention with the government provisions, and also what is recently going with. Now what is the study, why is the study of marriage important to sociology? What we can write in here, because marriage is an institution. Okay, marriage is an institution is still very much sacred in Indian society. Okay, it means that it is functional. So to study that, what is a pattern changing in marriage, right, that is very important to study the institution of marriage in sociology because we want to see some changes. Sociology is concentrating on changes. Why these changes happen, that is also sociology is with, and so that we can give a solution and prediction. So like this you have to add here. Why the study of marriage is important to sociology? Because it is an institution. Marriage is an also institution. Like that, many institutions in the previous time by our thinkers like Durkheim, like religion, etc., Karl Marx and Weber, like religion aspect they have studied. So now marriage is still going with changes. So now what are the changes சொல்லும்போது the implication of changing marriage systems கொடுத்திருக்கு. அப்போ second part of the questions is the high, like actually was the hint to for the first part of the question here. Okay, for example, now what is the changing pattern? Now marriage as an institution first was sacred, it was endogamy, correct? The marriage was the like family, like joint family was actually fixing this marriage, etc. Now what is the changes going on because of westernization, modernization, urbanization, role of the state, right? Role of the state la vandu law which gives the right to have a marriage, right to have a privacy, that is article 21. idhula da neenga add pannu more, you will make it as a Indian society oda angle idhula kondu vaanga, GS oda angle kondu vaanga, slowly neenga vandu sociology oda change panikonga idu. Now the changes parting is living relationship, before that the marriage systems, then single parent family, this is also marriage also happening after divorces. So the changing marriage patterns are now is going on. Please don't forget, there are many peoples are here who are forgetting about homosexual marriage here. This is what I said, when you structure your answers in your mind before itself, the points will not be you will not miss your point. அப்போ சேம் செக்ஸ் மேரேஜோட திங்ஸ் இங்கே போயிட்டு இருக்குல்ல. ஸோ சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட் வாஸ் கிவிங் அ ஓப்பன் ஜட்மெண்ட் ஆன் திஸ் பர்டிகுலர் திங்ஸ். ஸோ அண்ட் வாட் இஸ் த ஹோமோசெக்சுவாலிட்டி, அண்ட் த ஹோமோசெக்சுவாலிட்டி இஸ் நாட் டிமாண்டிங் தி ரைட் டு சேம் செக்ஸ் மேரேஜ். Now this is also changing pattern in the marriage system. Okay, so Iravati Karve name you can add up what is the marriage and systems which is difference between the North India and South India, and the concept வந்து நீங்க இங்க கொண்டு வரலாம். Like that also marriage as an institution, as an act or something which is going on and government oda stand idhula வந்து நீங்க ஆட் பண்ணிருக்கலாம். More one thinkers நம்மளுக்கு போதும் sociological angles la you can write it, because starting introduction itself we have made it as an like here sociological. Okay, next question, it was 3A correct. Then B, do you think that now again do you think, I really am telling you that this is a GS paper Marisa, do you think in sociology it has come. So one satisfaction இன்னைக்கு என்னன்னா, கிளாஸில் ஆல்வேஸ் ஐ யூஸ் டு டீச், see contemporary டைமில் வந்து நீங்கள் படிங்க, யுவர் ஓன் பர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் க்ரியேட் பண்ணுங்கள், எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் ஆட் பண்ணுங்கள். இன்றைக்கி என்ன நியூஸ் பேப்பர்ஸில் இருக்குன்னா அதில் ட்ரை டு கனெக்ட் வித் தி தியோரி ஆஸ்பெக்ட் ஆஃப் அதில் கனெக்ட் பண்ணி அப்ளிகேஷன் ஓரியன்டில் பண்ணிங்கன்னா see now UPSC is changing. So do you agree or not na இங்கே கமெண்ட் பண்ணி கொடுங்க. Okay, maybe you are from this batch, or you are from last year batch, or you are from that last year batch, or maybe you are not from also KingMakers also, but you are watching this particular video because நீங்கள் ஒரு sociology optional எடுக்கணும்னு சொல்லி ஒரு decide பண்ணி வச்சுருக்கீங்க. So please tell me that what is your opinion, whether if you already attended my classes, then tell me that whether I have spoken about this on the classes or not. Okay, I really want to check this particular in comment, because அந்த கமெண்ட்டில் இருக்கும்போது நிறைய பேருக்கும் தெரியும் that நம்ம எப்படி கிளாஸில் வந்து இதெல்லாம் டாபிக்ஸ் we are handling it. Okay, now do you think that the constitutional provisions for women have led to their uplift? Give reasons for your answers. Again, do you think we are making Indian society questions, we are adding with paper 1 thinker, paper 2 thinkers and contemporary content. Correct? இதுதான் ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்ட்ரக்சரை ஃபஸ்ட்டு மெயின்டைன் பண்ணி மைண்டில் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Do you think that constitution provision for women, அப்போ constitution provision for womenக்கு before what are the issues of the women's நீங்கள் வந்து டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணணும். கரெக்ட்? ஆல்சோ to have to their uplift. So issues with the women's empowerment, the questions which ask in Indian society, equality, equity and women's empowerment, exactly sociology help பண்ணுது. Now women's empowerment, we are thinking about 5 aspects. UN oda definition idu. Okay, empowerment will be there only by testing with the self-worth, decision making ability, to bring about social change, to have in control on their own body. Okay, appoda neenga solla mudiyum empowerment is there. The Indian angle vandu what is an issue is here the constitutional provisions they are making only on economic political ground. Social ground la vandu some laws are there, for example domestic violence etc, but it is only giving the equality. That is also not fully, because political rights pathina 33% only they are giving. Now equality is not, equity neenga kudukano. What is the requirement? Okay, and only we are aspect with this, what happened to decision making, what aspect to social change, what aspect to self worth. appo idella sethu da women's empowerment solla mudiyum. What we missed is here this. So constitutional provisions, do you have, adukkaga da vandu questions ketirukanga, do you think that constitutional provisions for women's led to their uplift? Then do you think solumbodhu always yes and no, please don't give. Okay, I have already taught to my students that do you think solumbodhu neenga or positive angle please bring it here, and negative side also you have to bring it here. Appo positive side la vandu you can mention yes constitutional provisions like article 14, article 15, article 16. Okay, UPSC or examples you can give article 21 right to marriage. These are the things which is there, constitution provisions which is mentioning. Even the reservation in election, okay, 33% in panchayat election, this is also you can say. But the negative side is implementation, the negative side is equity, the negative side is you can say with the social empowerment oda content patti you can say here. Okay, now this you have written. Now remember this is not GS, sociology. Now how to make it, which thinkers you can create. Feminist perspective you have to bring here. Feminist perspective, radical feminist, liberal feminist. Like after giving constitution provisions also, if you're not giving equity, biological problem da women's ku vande actually are not supporting much. Then radical perspective enna, patriarchy is the main reason for this not to be giving as an equality. So constitution provisions more we have to make it with the equity level. Okay, idha vandu we have to give answers. Again constitution provisions for women's, yes we have put as feminist perspective, that's enough. Okay, this was the question. The next question was education is a key to social development, elaborate. See, education, it is straight away questions asked from our social change paper 2 oda section C vandu vision of social change la this is there. Even paper 1 la vandu we have a social change, education is a social change. Now first structure, how to make an answer. Education is a key to social development. Now you will start your answers with the education as a source of social development. Okay, and education as an institution also you can see here. Then educational is a key to social development. How? What is the importance of education? So education is providing a modernity. Okay, education is rational thinking. So social development, how it is coming? With application of educations you can say that society is changing. So traditional to modern society போறதுக்கு one of the reason is literacy and education. Okay, now in the mari or GS angle la you have to write down importance of educations. Again section wise, importance of education for women, for children, for men. Okay, all these things. Now make it as a sociological. How to make it? I said education is one of the criteria to pass the society from traditional to modern. Ipo think panni paranga paper 1 la 6 thinkers where you can use it. Karl Marx we cannot use it. Okay, Durkheim oda things la kuda more it will not be relevant. You know, education solumbodhu Parson oda concept you can bring it here. The Parson told about pattern variable. Appo pattern variable ku see idella high level thinking. Normally students வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு paper 1 ஓட thinkers add பண்ண முடியாது because it needs lot of practices. நான் உங்களுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி கிளாஸ்ல வந்து இந்த practice கொடுத்திருக்கு. Pattern variable இப்போ என்னன்னா traditional to adapco model, right? Traditional to modern society. அப்போ modern society ஓட key என்னன்னா education தான். Can you connect it? Yes, we can connect. Okay, so education is a key to social development. So at least Parson we are writing. write even agile model also you can write, but I will suggest you just go with the pattern variable. Education la vandu more GS angle la contemporary time you can say right to education we have given, this is a type of social development, right to education. Then we have to add it here DPSP also. Okay, article 45, then article 51A, article 21A you have to add here, right? Then mind la nariya like the content is coming, நான் பேசும்போது நான் மிஸ் ஆகிடும் சொல்லி ஒரு திங்கிங்ஸ் இருக்குது எனக்கு மைண்டில். ஸோ எஜுகேஷன் இஸ் கீ டு சோஷியல் டெவலப்மெண்ட்டில் வந்து எஸ் நேஷ்னல் எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி also you have to add here. So these are the things which is giving a social development. Even education in mother tongue, see article 50, article 300A. Okay, this is education in the mother tongue. இதெல்லாமே வந்து உங்கள் ஆன்சர்ஸில் இருக்குன்னா really I mean like you will be going with the good marks here. Okay, now question number 4, how do religious communities contribute to the cultural diversity of India? Religious communities we have in syllabus paper 2, contribute positive side, cultural diversity of India. Little tricky question. Okay, cultural diversity, it means that religious communities how it is giving a positive impact for our cultural diversity. So you have to mention here what are the religious communities present in India. You can say we have in religious communities, we are not only inter-religious but also intra-religious. For example, we have a sect and cult. So again, structure of an answer, religion and society paper 1 lende you can quote it here. Religion and society paper 2 also you can write here. Okay, so religious communities GS angle again we have to write and we have to make it as a sociological level. Then religious communities like intra-religious and inter-religious we have to say. How we are contributing in cultural diversity is unity in diversity because of the religious communities. Okay, so for example we have in, you can say cultural diversity, religious communities like UPSC is giving reservation, okay, to OBC if you see related to minority will be there. Appo minority is who? Minority is related to religion, correct? OBC you are coming under, so it is contributing in the cultural diversity because the same persons they can go and work for the India but they are having the different cultural diversities because of the religion. The mari angle vande you can think. Okay, then religious communities la religion factors you can add up here Karl Marx, religion factors you can add up here Durkheim oda religion that where he studied the religion from the primitive society to the modern society. Then the Karl Marx has seen religion communities as a conflict in nature, so you can make it as a sociological answer. Next question, do you understand by decentralization of power? Do you understand by decentralization of power what is the role in strengthening the roots of democracy in India? The question taken from politics and society, and understand by decentralization of power. Okay, so you have to add up here what is the decentralization of power, what is the role in strengthening the root of how decentralization of power is responsible for strengthening the democracy. Appo Indian society angle you have to start with thinkers we will add. Okay, paper 2 thinkers we will add, and contemporary time la the Indian society oda aspect we have to add here. What do you mean by decentralization of power? Just start with decentralization of powers we also have in like union government, state government and panchayat and municipality. We have a 3 tiers of government. Appadi kuda neenga start pannalam. Okay va? So decentralization of power is this. Secondly, how it is strengthening, so you have to say that the decentralization of powers, how it is helping in political level, social level, economic level, etc. Political level it will be more participation of the people. Okay, social level more social issues and everything can be seen and handled care by the state government, panchayat level and union government in Indian respect. Also you can say the decentralization of powers in US was there at the 2 tier. one was a state and it was a total separation of power is there. Okay, right? எப்படின்னா வந்து நம்ம GS ஓட content we are bringing here. Then the angle which is you have to bring it as a sociological. See, power பார்த்தோன்னே paper 1 ஓட Weber taught CSP, that is class, status and power. You have to bring here. Also paper 2 anthropology, CSP, caste, status and power. So the same power is the responsible for here to participate in the politics. Okay, so the role of strengthening the root of the democracy in India, same like how the power and decentralization of powers can be responsible in democracy. For example, power you can say it as in different way also. For example, political power, social power. So you can also bring it here, authority of Weber. Okay, so authority, charismatic authority, traditional authority, Zweig rational and wet rational. So that is social action, but authority, legal rational authority. So same authority to concept வந்து again you can add up in the power, right? GS paper 3 GS paper 2 நம்மளுக்கு polity and constitution லந்து these answers you have to write, correct? எப்படின்னா நம்ம வந்து sociological answers we have made it. What are the different forms of untouchability? This is also from straight away from the syllabus. Still practiced in India. Discuss with suitable illustration. See the questions படிக்கும்போது little exhaust ஆயிடுவீங்க. Because direct questions syllabusல இருந்து இருக்கு. ஆனா do you think, difference, changes இப்படி தான் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. ஓகேவா? So what are the different forms of untouchability still practiced in India? இந்த questions tricky தான். Untouchabilityக்கு வந்து என்ன forms? You can say the forms are there. Social angle. So Manuel scavenging, you can add it here. Different forms of untouchability still prevalent in India. Social angles like caste system. Okay, still it is like not functionals everywhere. Discuss the suitable illustrations. Untouchability still practicing in, you have to say that temple entry movement. You have to say that Jyotiba Phule's like Satya Sodak Samaj. Okay, different forms of untouchability still practice in India. You can say it is a village, still it is practicing. Okay, so this kind of questions and thinkers la vandu again more untouchability can be seen as an inequality. So inequality or respect la vandu you can write. Okay, question number 5, which is very, all the questions are compulsory. Examine the suitable examples, the recent trend in the growth of urban settlement in India. These questions come from vision of social change, migration issues and a suitable example, recent trend, growth of human urban settlement in India. இதே மாதிரி question GS1 ல வந்து migration related they asked it. So suitable example, recent trend, if you see urban settlement, why the urban settlement in India is happening, why migration is going to the urban settlement? Opportunity, correct? Then health, right? Then education, having this particular opportunity, good education kaga, good better living style. These are the recent examples and trend which is seeing the growth of urban settlement in India. How to make a sociological? You can say that because of the urban settlement, now the family concept is changing to household, and household concept is there by A.M. Shah has given. So little more sociological angle vandu you can add up here. Then sociological angles, even thinkers from this particular chapters you can write down here, who have done the household oda work la vandu, even we have in many thinkers who have told about that urbanizations or issues vandu adala discuss pannirukka. Even you have to quote it here, SDG goal also. Okay, SDG goal, the problems which is coming with the urban settlement, that is populations. Then village la vandu you can go with the urban missions. In the issues ku vandu actually we can solve it. Then is there is a connection between labor migration and informal sector? See, same type the questions inga ketirukanga. Labor migration and informal sector connection kekranga. Informal sectors kada many labor migrations are going on. This topic you can take it for work and economic life of paper 1 also. Justify your answers with reference to Indian context. Labor migrations are more going with the informal sectors, which is there because of urbanization it is happening. So you have to say urbanization, modernization. Idei marida in the questions irukku. Okay, and labor migrations you can stop it when the informal sectors can be changed to formal sector. So paper 1 or labor and society angle also you can give here. Okay, next are slums. Same same topic la the question kekra mari irukku. Are slums and manifestations of industrialization? Because of industrialization slums are happening and urbanization in India idu marida. Now here the word will there ghettoization. Ghettoization means slum area is coming to the because of urbanization issue and industrialization issue, because industries are giving more formal work. Informal works are there, but this is not consuming in the formal sector. Because of industrializations, now many peoples and urbanizations feeling inequality. Inequality irukkaga these peoples are being subjugated into the slum area. Slum issues, can you connect it with the paper thinker? Karl Marx has told about the 4 classes. Last la vandu 2 classes la vandu they will be there. So bourgeoisizations, proletizations, and petty bourgeois can be become proletariat, or proletariat will become a lumpen proletariat, and the lumpen proletariat da in the slum oda connect panna mudiyum. Also, Karl Marx has told that lumpen proletariat will be used by bourgeois to use against the petty bourgeois. So, crime and everything are there, and slum area you can give it here introduction, some connections from the thinkers. Okay, so slum is the manifestation of industrialization and urbanization. Because of this, you can say inequality is persisting because of modernization and urbanization. That is why slums is the manifestation of industrialization and urbanization. Also slum related issues ko consider பண்றதுக்கு Indian society la what are the provisions by giving. For example, PM Awas Yojana, you have to quote it. GS Mari you have to take. Okay, then employment things will be given. So that the migration should not happen, we are giving the Urban Mission, Manreka program. This also you can add. Okay, next question. Discuss the changing nature of political elites in India. This question exactly asking from politics and society of paper 1. But political elites in India respect changing nature. Upon changing nature, previously it was dominant caste. Now it is coming with even the caste, lower caste also, BSP. Now you can say that first it was politicization of caste, now it is casteization of politics. So political elites are coming from economic, from polity, from social status. You can even bureaucrats also. So political elites are not from economic aspect, from the societal aspect, do have a status, and also bureaucrats also are coming as in political elites. For example, we have an Kejriwal, that is the former CM of Delhi. Okay, so like that you have to be. Political elites pati kekumbodhu, again politics and society la elites, lion and foxes, you can make it. You can add here and you can make it as a sociological. Okay, next, what is your assessment about the recent farmers movement in India? It is a direct questions of farmers movement. It is there, protest and movements. Also paper 1 la vandu protest and movement topic is there, and assessment about recent farmers movement. Now it is more connected to social media. Paper 1 la vandu இந்த question கேட்டிருக்காங்க, social movements, how it is connected, technological use which is there, social movements only the questions was there. Same thing in inga vandu they have asked in paper 2. So assessment about farmers movement, it is connected to social media. Farmers movements are now connected with all others aspect of economic reasons also. It is not happening in one particular places, more the support we are getting. So recent trend solumbodhu, recently farmers movement happened because of MSP. Adu base panni da neenga idhukku answers write pananum. Then movements patti solumbodhu, then you have to make it as a sociological Charles Tilly or a concept of the stages of social movement. You can quote it here and you have to draw the diagram as well. Okay, anyhow GS angle la study pannite we have to make it as a sociological as well. Okay, Next, sixth question. Discuss the major challenges related to women's reproductive health in India. And what measures would you suggest? Okay, so women's reproductive health in India. Women child affect now, correct? Women's reproductive health in India. Challenges would be early marriages. Because of that, the reproductive health of the woman is suffering. Having many child. Please don't forget to add surrogacy. Because women's reproductive health in India, oda main concern is surrogacy leda, it was there. So now we changed it, the Surrogacy Act, to commercial, and we have changed it. Now no more it is a commercial. Okay. In that, feminist perspective you can bring. Like women's reproductive health in India are more, feminist perspective can make, it will become a sociological. What measures you can say? You can say the Jaitley's report, correct, which was given as a 21 years should be there for the marriage. Then maternal mortality rate, what to say, control pandadhukku we have an SDG goal also. And what measures you will take? Just involve most of the women and children's girl child education ko mele vande you can give here. The literacy should be there. More patriarchy should not be there. Women's has been treated as a equality and equity both the way. Okay, this was the question. Next, what is the sustainable development? Environment and social change. Environment related questions is sustainable development. How can sustainability be achieved in India? What is sustainable development? So future use ku vande we should use our today's development, we have to check with our future use also, correct? Then how can sustainability will achieved in India? You can say achieved in India through renewable energy. Sustainable development, we are going with the different patterns of energy efficiency. Okay. Then climate change, India is more committed towards the Paris Agreement. Then where livelihood needs conflict with environment protection. So where India வந்து இது பிரச்சனை தான். When we are going with development, so development versus dependency or environmental protection. So we have an Environmental Protection Act. You have to talk about National Tribunal for Environment. Okay. Also India is taking care with the sustainable development. With sustainable development like energy, we are using now more of solar energy. So climate change ko affect panname நம்ம வந்து development பண்ணனும். Like that India is going with. அப்போ social science and technology paper 3 oda angle you can also add it here. Okay. Next, critically examine the relevance of development planning in India. Development planning, you can say Planning Commission, Niti Aayog. Okay, relevance of development planning will give you lot of assessment. Development planning பண்ணும்போது தான் relevance of development planning, like first development aspect ல நம்ம planning பண்ணணும். Then assessment would be there. Niti Aayog is doing that. All these aspects you have to say. To development, for development, planning is very important. So 5-year plans and etc. you can make, because it is there in our syllabus la, where our syllabus says and connecting the economy part also. Okay. Next, 7th one, analyze the trilogy between environment, movement, development and tribal identity. Again, see, environmental movement was because of tribal identity was taken because of the Development Act which was published by Britisher. I have taught all this class for the recent batch. Again, paper 2 start on both, you will connect this question. Okay. Environmental movements mostly was seen as a tribal movement because there the Britishers passed the Forest Tax etc. and because of their the rights has been taken, and development of Britishers actually was responsible for environmental movement. Okay, you have to made it like, because it is sociology, so thinkers நிறைய இதில் வராது tribals associate பண்ணும்போது more இது some questions can be there without thinker also, but constitutional provisions, everything you have to add it. For example, forest tax, etc. Namoda PDF la everything I have provided. The new PDF also will be having these environmental movements. What are the environmental movements? Why these environmental movements started? All these things you have to write. Then to what extent have the legal provisions have been effective in curbing the violence against women in India? Legal provisions like Domestic Violence Act, legal provisions act like the Sexual Harassment Act. Okay, the cases you can add it. Kolkata rape cases related you can answer with an example also. So the legal provision is not enough. As Gandhiji said, ethical things has to be taught. Okay, so legal provision is there, but violence against women has not stopped. What makes this particular thing is patriarchy. Again, feminist perspective oda patriarchy related thinkers name. Neenga 3 to 4 thinkers names inga vandu feminist perspective la ready panni vekkanum, because every year women's oda related questions evlo they have asked. See, so this was the question. Next, trace the social and historical origin of Dalit movement. What is the Dalit movement here? Jyotiba Phule movement, Satya Sodak Samaj, temple entry movement. Okay, then Dalit movement related to untouchability movement, etc. So trace the social and historical origin. Historical origin was all the literate peoples also were supported. This untouchability thing should not be there, like Ambedkar, etc. Social sphere and social origin was from the society. The society was actually divided on the basis of caste system. So caste system was very functional that time, but that was made it because of the occupational division of labor. But later it was changed to jati system, which was practical in nature, and because of that lot of the topic of purity and pollution adala add aichi. Okay va. So Dalit movement solumbodhu, again Dalit was resemble from the caste. So also you can add up who contributed in this particular caste studies. G.S. Ghurye, Lewis, Dumont, Anthony Bethe, etc. you can name. Okay. Finally, 8th question. First question was highlight the major contribution of reform movements in pre-independent India. Major contribution reform movements in pre-independent reform movements. Appo reform na enna mari reform? Social reforms, political reforms. Okay, social reforms la vande women's related, educations, then age of marriage was increased. So major contribution was done by Rajaram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, reforms movement, Sharda Act you have to add up here. So these things again you have to add up with the temple entry of Sabrimala issues. This is also reform movements on women's. Okay, and so reform movements can be seen as a increase of marriage age also. This can be there. Movements like Me Too movements also you can say reform movements in present time, right? You can connect with the pre-independent time to present time. Identify different forms of inequality. Again, equality, agrarian social structures. So agrarian social structure, agriculture social structures. You can also paper one oda topic idile add panna mudiyum. Karl Marx oda feudal society. Anyhow நம்மளுக்கு டேர்ம்ஸ் கிடச்சிச்சின்னா போதும், ஆன்சர்ஸ் வந்து சோஷியலாஜிக்கல் லெவலில் தெரியும். ஏன்னா பிகாஸ் இங்கே தான் நமக்கு மார்க்ஸ் கிடைக்கும். அதர்வைஸ் எவ்ரி பீப்புள் வில் ரைட் அபவுட் அக்ரேரியன் சோஷியல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ஸ், இன்இக்வாலிட்டி அண்ட் ஆல்சோ இன்இக்வாலிட்டினா காஸ்ட் சிஸ்டம்ஸ் ஆல்சோ யூ கேன் பிரிங் இட் இயர். ஓகே, ரைட். நிறைய நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணியாச்சு. அக்ரேரியன் சோஷியல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர், காஸ்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் சேம் ரிப்பிட்டேஷன்ஸ் தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ தேட் இஸ் வை த சாய்ஸ் ஆஃப் த டாபிக் ஆல்சோ டிபெண்ட்ஸ். நீங்கள் வந்து அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு டாபிக் சூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கலாம் வேர் த ரிப்பிட்டேஷன் ஆஃப் த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் won't be there. So maybe repetition point இருக்கும்போது மார்க்ஸ் கம்மியாகிடும். So this is also the question of decision making, ability of decision making. Finally, what are the pressure group? Name the pressure group. For example, discuss the role in decision making in democracy. Politics and society of paper 1 you can take example from here. Who are the pressure group? Who don't want to take the power but they want to have an influence on the government. So role of the decision making, what are the types of pressure group? From the paper 1 you have to add up types of pressure group. I hope you remember. Then types of pressure groups ka mele vandu how it is making decision in democracy, influencing the government. Okay, so pressure groups from economy like trade union. Okay, then pressure groups like farmers movement, farmers side, idellame pressure groups sort of thing. But paper 1 oda mostly idella connect out. You can excellently you can write your answers from the paper 1. Correct. Protest and movement is also there in paper 2, but paper 1 oda content fundamentally you have to add here. So this was a question. Overall analysis பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the question more was on the topic of women's genders etc, caste system. Then also it was related to paper 1 or a topic paper 2 connect பண்ற மாதிரி the questions they asked this year. More the elaborate idea about the topic was needed. Sociology angle வந்து when you are adding with the examples and present day Indian society or a context, if you are practicing by doing that, it paper was very easy. Okay, so thank you so much for this patience, and yes, see you again. Thank you.